Alright, here we have an Iseo R7. I did just pick this and got it and filmed it, but I was picking it Australian style, not Euro style. This is one of those rare locks where it actually really matters that you pick it the way it is intended to be installed. I didn't know anything about this lock, or maybe I once did and I just forgot it all. I don't know. But here's the pin. Like you can see, got some passive, the key rather, passive pins on the side. 3 passive pins on the bottom. The dots there are where there is no pin. So 1, 2, 3 pins need to push in. Same here, there's provision for 5, but we've got 1, 2, 3 of them. No, the other way around on this side, that's 1, 2 installed. And then, yeah, we've got our bitting. So some reasonably low stuff in there. It's got a mix of spools and standards. Two of the spools don't really do anything though because they're on these really low cuts. So it's really only spool on pin 2 that does do things. But the interesting feature is that pin 1 here is a magnet. Or on the key there, it's a little magnet. So if we look down the keyway there, you can see this brass pin up the front. If I just tap that a bit, you'll note that that's now fallen all the way down. So that actually starts overset, and you need to get a magnet in there to lift it up, and then you can pick as per normal. So with my trusty magnet on a stick with some super glue, should be dry now. Let's give that a go. So I'm going to use this multi-book tool here. It's got pretty aggressive warding too. Well, not really aggressive, but this ledge up the top there does somewhat get in the way. Stuff doesn't really matter, but it's not too bad, and the bitting on this is reasonably forgiving. The only hard one is pin 2. Right, so first off, reset, use my magnet, just like basically no to light tension. I'm going to just use that pin up and then apply stern tension. You can sort of even hear it click up, and because it's free, yeah, wiggles around a bit. So now that's done, we can slide down our pick using bare bones, of course. As long as we've got that front one set, then any of this stuff should start binding, which it is. Okay. Oh, must accidentally preset spool 2. All right, well, that's easier than it normally is. Well, the other 2 times I picked it anyway. That was lucky. Whatever, it's all in there. So, all right, let's gut this thing again. Lock it back up. That's very clearly picked now. All right, locked. I need to get this clip off, which I only half put on to make my life easier. Key goes in, see it works beautifully, and happily 360 that, no worries. Right, that's the normal direction. I don't know where my pins are going to come out. Get that shim in there. Doesn't really need a shim, turns out, but always better to be safe. And one fits, just turn that a bit, follower. And because those passive pins, you want to be ready to catch on all sides. So just being careful with my fingers there to sort of, you know, slide in on both sides, and then another finger on the bottom. So it comes out well secured like this. Good tip when you've got locks with lots of passive pins that you don't know where they are. Try and pull it out sort of like that, and then we can hold it with gravity so we can see there are top pins. There's our 2 passives on the side, and then on the bottom we've got 1, 2, 3. So there they are in position 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to tap them out. They're all the same. They can go in chambers 2, 3, 4. Right, that's the bottom one. So there's these 2 on the side. I gutted this last time, one of them didn't come out. Yeah, it still doesn't. So that is 4. The other one I'm going to leave in there because it doesn't want to come out. There's no, it looks the same as the other one. And then we've got our key pin. So there's the key out. So here's our brass one, which, oops, there's a ball bearing up the front too. What do you know? So that's that one that's oversetting. So let's just drop that out. Oops. You can see it looks brass, but there you go. Clearly got a magnet in it. So that's what's operating against that key pin. There it is, a little magnet. And if it focuses, you can maybe see that little magnet in the tip. Nifty. So that goes down facing towards the key. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You really do need to get some brass tweezers for playing with things with magnets. Alright, drivers. Shim out first. Okay. 1 is our gravity pin. That starts, we'll get to that last, I think it'll be easier. So 2 is a spool. 3, standard. So we'll put spring out of that one. Pull that. 4, standard. 5, spool. And 6 is a spool. Okay. Now we don't need to worry about it being a real problem. So driver pins. We have these just 2 like key pins jammed up in there, like so. They sit like that. So that is longer than a pin stack. No, it isn't. Anyway, that nearly as long as a pin stack. So this sits just a little bit high normally. If these were together at shear. Right, this one would have, magnets, be fallen up like that, resting, if that makes sense. So, yep, anyway, hopefully that's clear. And there's the rest of our springs. So no spring in, whoops. No spring in chamber 1, that's the whole point. But it is essential to the security feature of this lock that it be installed the correct way up, or that feature does nothing and it just becomes, it automatically sets itself and it becomes a 5-pin lock. So you don't want to do that. And if you're picking one, you should pick it this way, not upside down. So there we go. That is an Iseo R7. Pretty cool. Not really much of a problem. If you even magnetize your pick tip up a bit, it'd pretty easily grab onto that. In fact, sometimes it did, so you didn't really need a magnet on a stick, but magnet on a stick makes it easier. Yeah, if you know you're coming against one, like that keyway. There's that keyway shot. It's reasonably distinct, so if you saw that, you go, oh yeah, it's going to be one of those ones. Keep your magnet with you, and you'll be set. So there we go. Cool lock.